Light on set.
Roll camera.
Sound speed.
Mark, please. And action.
Welcome back to Students in Focus. I'm Katie, an intern at UEN. In this show, we will focus on student work from all over the state of Utah. Today's episode features quite a few personal stories. Our first piece is called At the Same Time by Munashe, a student from Spy Hop Productions. Spy Hop is a non-profit organization that offers hands-on project-based learning for students across the state of Utah. This production was made as part of the Real Stories class, which is a free class offered by Spy Hop every summer. Munashe gave it this description: at the same time, ask the question, your country, culture, and family are the building blocks to your identity. But when my pieces don't fit together, who am I now?
If there's one thing that I've learned from my 17 years of life, is that if you don't know who you are, you will be perpetually lost. I moved to America from South Africa when I was about 8 years old, and now I'm at this halfway point where I'm looking back on the experiences that I've had and the ways that I've grown and changed, and wondering how those have affected me, how those have affected who I became, who I could have become, and who I will be. You know, I used to think that growth was resistance to adversity. But now, when I think about it, I think growth is about getting beaten down by nature and the world, and then coming back stronger. And then the question is, how do you come back stronger? Do you come back stronger? Do you grow? You're sure gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Hey guys, it's Munashe, and today is
Hey
my
guys,
big,
it's
big
Munashe,
costume.
and today.
Hey there guys, it's
Hey guys,
Munashe.
it's Munashe. I know it's been a while.
Hey guys, it's Munashe.
2 bottle of whiskey for the way, and I sure would like some sweet company. And I'm leaving tomorrow. What do you say? When I'm gone, when I'm gone, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk. You're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Oh, I remember the most annoying thing to me when I was younger was people always felt the need to point out that I was losing my accent, and it cut me deeply because if there was one thing that I knew connected me to my culture, it was my voice. And as people kept pointing out that I was losing it, it felt like I was losing my voice. But one thing that I thought still to this day is hilarious is my friends would tell me that whenever I'm on a phone call with my mother, my voice, my accent changes a little bit and I sound just a titch bit more South African. And I thought that was so absolutely hilarious that, you know what? I may sound a little bit like a valley girl from California, but deep down, when I'm talking to my mama, I'm still very much so sounding like an African.
Hello.
Hey, Ma.
Hey.
I wanted to ask you a question really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is my most, defining quality?
I don't know. The one that just makes me really proud to be your mom is that you want to make a difference. Like, you don't want to just live just for the sake of it, you know?
Because I don't think I've ever felt like I wasn't South African or African. I just felt like if the more American I got, I felt the less I deserved it or could claim it as my own. But as I've grown up, I've realized that, people claim stuff that they're 5% of all of the time. So I feel like I can claim where I was born and where I was raised and where my family is and where my heart is, just as proudly and as authentically. I really, really want my role in his life to be the person who makes sure that he knows that he is completely and perfectly 100% both of his identities. Would you say that anything about me changed since we moved here?
I wouldn't say that you changed. I would say that you grew.
I signed up for audio apprenticeship as I wanted to expand what I could do with music and also just get to know more about how I could make it.
I signed up because I really want to do audio as a career, and this is just kind of helping further my knowledge.
I heard animation and free class.
There's this really cool place called Spy Hop, and I kind of fell in love with it. Some of the first skills I learned was how to use your voice.
As well as how lighting works, how to build a camera and stuff like that.
I've learned to empathize with the audience more, which has helped me to draw more people in so they'd be more willing to see what something's about.
I feel like you learn a lot more than you do in you would in a college class because you get hands-on experience in everything that you're doing.
It's a really good environment. It's a very good community. I feel like self-expression is really empowered here. You're not scared to be who you are around people.
The environment is so great. Everyone here is so nice and accepting, and we're all just trying to follow our passions and learning and growing from each other.
Everyone's great. Super happy, chaotic, fun times.
Do you have a film or media event to share? Send us an email at resources@uen.org. Up next, we have Through the Lens by me. Through the Lens is a look into what I do every day in school and a reason why you should try everything offered to you.
Good morning, Colts.
Good morning, Cottonwood. Good morning, Colts. I'm Theo.
I'm Riley.
I'm Katie.
I'm Millie.
And I'm Lucy, here with your Monday morning news.
3 years ago, I found myself thrown into the TV broadcasting class at Cottonwood High School. Despite never touching a camera before and not even really knowing what the word broadcasting meant, I ended up finding what I want to do with the rest of my life. I realized that through the lens of a camera, I could be creative in my own personal way. Choosing different angles for a shot, writing a script, and editing all made me feel like I was at home. Along the way, I found amazing teachers, friends, and experiences to help guide me to incredible opportunities. My name is Katie Neal. I've been involved with TV for 3 years now and going on to my 4th. How I got involved with the class, it was class sign-up time. I had no idea what it was. I signed up for a full year of journalism and TV was just one of my extras. I wasn't even supposed to be in it. Journalism was too full. I was put into TV instead, and now I want to do it for a career.
I've been involved with the broadcasting class since my freshman year, so 2 years now. So I did not initially intend to sign up for the TV broadcasting class. I was interested in filmmaking, and so I was trying to sign up for the filmmaking class, but I couldn't find it on the little sheet they gave us for class selection. And so I chose the next best thing, TV broadcasting.
I got involved in the TV class because my mom was like, she really wanted me to sign up for it. And I was like, I don't know, I want to take maybe like a drawing class or something like that. And my mom was like, no, you should take it, you should take it. And I'm very much so glad I did because it ended up being worth it and I very much enjoyed it.
I got involved in TV broadcasting here at Cottonwood in 2011, 2012. So when I took over, eventually we went to a system or a program where we were on every day and it was live. And rather than being mostly just stories about the school and mostly, again, silly little things that kids put together, it became mostly announcements and news about the school and so forth.
A typical day in class is like rush, rush, rush. You have to get it all done before we have to go down to the studio for the broadcast. But if there's no big project, it's kind of chill. We show up, we chat. Usually I work on, sometimes I do assignments for other classes. Sometimes I work on like just a more chill project I have. And it's just kind of like a good environment every day.
My favorite part is definitely video making. I love coming up with ideas and it's like you're able to do kind of like short films except it's like very inconsequential. It's like I just got to make like this little goofy one. It doesn't really matter if it's like great or like super, super high quality. It's just a fun little thing.
Career-wise, I just loved the stress of it. I loved when we go live and it's 5, 4, 3, 2 and your heart sinks and you can't make a mistake or the whole school will see. And it's the same thing with sports. I mean, you make a peep, someone hears you on the camera and you're in trouble. So I just love the stress of it and I want to keep pursuing that the rest of my life. During my second year of TV, I discovered that Mazer would be retiring. This meant that not only would I lose one of the most impactful mentors in my life, I would also have to start fresh with a new teacher. Mazer asked me if I'd be willing to take over the class and mentor the incoming teacher who had no experience with TV broadcasting. While this would take me out of my comfort zone, I felt very empowered to be starting my junior year at 16 with the responsibility of teaching 2 TV broadcasting classes.
Katie was and is awesome. She was from day one of being a freshman. Super responsible, super engaged, could take an assignment and run with it and get it done and do a great job with it. Could work with other people, could be in charge of other people. She was just a great team player right from the beginning.
I teach TV broadcasting, yearbook, and photography at Cottonwood High School. Coming in, I knew absolutely nothing. So Katie really was like the teacher mentor to me. I was like the student, and she was very patient, understanding, technically knowledgeable.
It was very stressful when we got a new teacher, because I was suddenly like teaching the teacher in a way. We went from having someone who knew everything, was doing it for 40 years, to someone who's never done it before. So it was teaching, how to go live and fixing stuff in the studio by myself and just all this stuff. But it was fun. I think we needed the experience to be able to kind of fly out on our own and know what we're doing.
Katie has been just a very good kind of role model for my experience in the class. I've always been able to look to Katie if I'm lost on a project, if I don't really know what to do, if something's going wrong at a live stream or a broadcast, Katie's the one I go to. So she's kind of just been my inspiration for sticking with this class for so long.
I think I'd tell other kids who are trying to be passionate about something, do everything in school. Try everything. Even if you're a shy person who doesn't just sign up for everything. I did swimming for a while, and now I have so many more friends than that. I'm doing this for years. I've gone to every sports event. You just have to get yourself out there. And even if you don't do it as a career, you might have a hobby for the rest of your life. You really have to get connected and just get yourself out there.
To get an experience like this in high school without having to pay for classes through Slick or anything like that, to have a studio and the facilities to do something like this at school is such a treat for high school students.
I'm very thankful for this class, and I'm very thankful that it led me to this internship and this interview I'm doing right now. And I kind of have a dream job at the age of 17. It's just really cool, all the places it can take you. So be experimental, be fun, start the camera.
Bye, Gold! Have a good summer!
I just really want to thank Mazer, I think the most, for really, he's the reason I'm here right now, and I'm here talking to this camera, and I'm here at this job. He's the reason I made this video. He helped me find my passion in life, and he helped me become who I am today. And I think without him, I wouldn't know what I wanted to do or be here. I also really want to thank my parents, because without their support, letting me leave school early or go to all my work or school film events, I also wouldn't be here. And yeah, I think if they weren't behind me, supporting me every single day, I wouldn't be as motivated to do everything I do. So. Would you like to submit your work to be featured on TV? Learn more at uen.org/studentsinfocus to have your production considered for the program.
I'm interested in a career path that makes a lot of money.
I thought I wanted to do like strictly documentary journalism type stuff.
In the film world, I'd like to be either an editor or a DP.
Two will have to be closer. Okay. A little closer.
I'm thinking about going into like production. I think I want to do cinematography now.
Right now I'm really looking to go into post-production because it's something I enjoy a lot more than being on set.
Maybe working more with sound, assistant directing, script supervising.
Action!
I chose Salt Lake Community College because I heard that their program was more advanced and more hands-on than any of the other schools around.
We're teaching people how to grab C-stands and set them up and put flags on them, use cameras. From day one, they're using post-production equipment and cameras and a lot of hands-on. So we got a Blackmagic Cinema camera, we got a Red Epic and a Red Scarlet camera with complete lens packages, matte boxes and the whole filters and everything. So that students learn how to build cameras and learn how to do it properly, and they're able to go do that on an actual film set.
I've had a great experience so far. I've had enough support from all of my fellow students in groups making projects. I feel like I learn a lot from the teachers. I feel like I could probably leave with the associates and go on a movie set and be prepared.
I think we can do it again. No, we can totally do it again. I think that we can run this again. Okay, one more time.
Our final piece is called To the Seventh Generation, Once We Had Everything by Kiri, another student from the Real Stories class at Spy Hop Productions. She says this piece is an artistic and deeply personal approach to saving the Great Salt Lake, guided by a poet and a Shoshone leader.
We had an island full of bison. We had a sky full of flight. We had a sea full of northern shovelers. In fall, we had an ocean full of grebes, divers with ruby eyes and dark lashes. We had everything. Meadowlarks tuned the morning, coyotes crooned the night. We had beaches full of sand, and each grain a spherical world, not ground, but grown. We were a great body reclaiming. We were a basin yearning to be full again. We were a great lake dreaming herself whole again. Once she had everything. Once we had everything. That's that poem. Yeah, it's a little tough to sit with that, I think, like a future in which it's lost. And I don't dwell there, but I look in that direction since it's a possibility, right? Like, it's like anymore. So this is a thing that I think is interesting, the way people talk about future and considering 7 generations in the future and acting as, you know, with those. And it's an indigenous teaching that's just beautiful to think, oh, make my choices now with 7 generations in mind. Like, this is not just for me. It's not just even for my children, you know, and so on. But quite candidly, I think most Western people of Western culture are so far from that consideration that I'm like, I just want to say, like, just think about your own kids or your neighbor's kid. Like, pick a kid you like. Because we're in a more rapid time of change. And there's not time to waste. Like, we have to move steadily, but also swiftly. And I can't imagine not being completely motivated by that. Because this work that I'm working on, I'm 57, it's not going to come all the way right in my lifetime. I understand that. But I'm only here for what? 25, 30 more years. So what I do understand is, like, I have to throw my full weight into this turn. Like, we all have to throw our weight into the turn. Like, we got to turn a really big ship, right? And, it matters. What I do now matters. What everyone does matters. And it matters to, of course, 7 generations from now, but also just frankly matters to the kid on your street. And if you're an older person and you're not thinking about that, we're like missing this piece of culture where we would be thinking beyond ourselves. Like, we're actually called, if you're older, you have a role. And if you're young, you have a role. But if, I'm going to speak to the older one because I'm in that place. Like, I'm apprenticing to be an elder and to go out of this life, like, leaving a trail of good, like, for those following. That's my role. That's our role.
My grandmother told me this story, and she said one day a Shoshone hunter brought home a sizable kill, and it was far too big to be eaten by his family. And she said, when he got there, there was a mountain man nearby standing there that looked at the size of the kill, and he said to the hunter, "How are you going to store the excess meat?" Because drying and storing technologies were well known at the time. And the hunter looked at the mountain man, puzzled, and he said, "Store the meat? Why would I do that?" Instead, he sent out an invitation for the whole village to come together to dance and sing around his fire and enjoy a great feast. That happened, and that night, as everyone was going home, tired and happy and bellies full for the first time probably in a long time, the mountain man approached the hunter again and said, "Given the uncertainty of fresh meat in the forest, it would have been wiser for you to store the excess meat for your family, for the future." And the hunter looked at the mountain man again and said, "Store the meat? I store the meat in the belly of my brother." Are we willing to live that way again? What are we willing to sacrifice personally for our brother or our sister or our community members? Are we willing to do that? And that story just really resonates with me about our ability to take care of each other. And the world is so much bigger than us individually. It should be our communities and making sure our communities are safe.
Utah's a magical place with a lot of energy.
Within 20 minutes of driving from downtown Salt Lake City, you're in the mountains. It just looks so American to me.
You come to Salt Lake City, you come to Utah, you find a crew who is hungry and they want to stretch themselves every single day to sort of match your vision.
We were able to crew and cast so much locally. I think that brought so much to the project.
It's just easier to sort of make our ideas happen here.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Students in Focus. Be sure to tune in to our next program, and you can check out past episodes of the show on our YouTube channel or the website below. Don't forget that you can submit your project to be featured here on UEN TV. We'll see you next time. See you next time. Credits.